Hey there everyone, welcome again to our channel, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Today, We Traveling will be presenting the largest country in all of South America, a country that has not one, not two, but 4 time zones, and a forest that covers 60% of the country. Brazil is a country with esteemed history and natural diversity. It's the home of the Amazon River, Rio de Janeiro, and some amazing beaches. So if you're planning a visit to Brazil, here are the top 5 places that are an absolute must. Number 10. The Iguazu Falls. We've all seen a place with one waterfall. Perhaps you've seen 2 waterfalls at once, maybe 5, maybe even 10. But the Iguazu Falls in Brazil has 247 waterfalls, and some of them are as high as 100 meters, all pouring down to a gorge below. Iguazu is founded where Brazil's border meets Argentina and Paraguay. It's one of those places that are just a lot to take in. A visit to Iguazu is unforgettable as you discover something new from every angle you look at it. Whether from the Brazilian side or the Argentinian side, the falls are a source of wonder and awe, with huge panoramic views that highlight the grandeur of the setting. The large waterfall is the Garganta do Diablo, which translates to the Devil's Throat. It is one of the biggest waterfalls in the world, and it's such a spectacle to see, provided you don't fall in. You can also visit the Iguazu National Park, where you'll get acquainted with over 1,000 pieces of birds and mammals. But honestly, this isn't even the best location in Brazil. That's coming later in the video, so you don't want to miss it. Number 9. Ouro Preto. Have you ever heard of a city whose walls were lined with gold and precious stones? Didn't think such a place existed in Brazil, did you? Then you obviously haven't heard of the colonial city of Ouro Preto. Established in 1698, it was originally a mining settlement. It was in truth the biggest gold and silver mining site in all of South America. Riches flowed out of the city, especially when Brazil was under the rule of Portugal. Hence, a lot of colonial infrastructures were built there. The city was so rich and popular that it was declared the capital city of Minas Gerais, a state in Brazil. But as time progressed and the gold rush was slowly becoming a thing of the past, the city's economy started to decline, and it was no longer the capital city. Now Ouro Preto serves as an open-air museum with lots of buildings and features that indicate its rich history. Ouro Preto is a UNESCO heritage site. It houses a lot of paraphernalia such as minerals and trinkets that were mined in colonial Brazil. A visit to Ouro Preto is a sure way to learn about Brazil's colorful past. Number 8. Brasilia. This is the capital city of Brazil, and it is just beaming with architectural landmarks, most of which are found in one place thanks to the brilliant plan of the city. A lot of the cities in Brazil are planned and they maintain a certain style and class. Brasilia is a good example of that. It has a handful of monuments, most of them having really long names that pay homage to Brazil's vibrant past and of course its promising future, with places like the Praça dos Três Poderes. It also has one of the most beautiful cathedrals you have ever seen, known as the Cathedral Metropolitana Nossa Senhora Aparecida. I'd go on listing, but the names get ridiculously long from this point. All I'm saying is, if you really want to see some of the best testimonies of Brazilian architecture, then you should definitely visit Brasilia. Number 7. Porto de Galinhas. TripAdvisor once said that Brazil has some of the best beaches in the world. I think they had Porto de Galinhas in mind when they said that. Understand that Brazil has more than 7,000 kilometers of the Atlantic coast, yet almost everyone says that Porto de Galinhas has the best beaches. But why is that? Is it the silver sands or the crystal waters? Is it the tall palm trees, the laid-back towns and chic boutiques? Is it the food, the people, the festivals? There could be so many things. You can visit the lagoon and go scuba diving. There you'll actually find seahorses and exotic sea creatures. And you can also visit the reef and bathe in the ankle-deep water. When it comes to beaches, the main beach to visit are the Praia de Boa Viagem, Carne de Verca, and of course São José da Coroa Grande, where you will experience the beach like never before. Number 6. Belo Horizonte. Remember when I said Ouro Preto was the former capital of Minas Gerais? Well, Belo Horizonte is the new capital of the province, and it's not hard to imagine why. It's the 6th largest city in Brazil with a great urban setting. It is considered to be one of the most well-planned cities in Brazil, and by extension South America. Belo Horizonte actually means beautiful horizon, an intimation of how beautiful the city is. It has great high-rise buildings, some of them built by the famous architect Oscar Niemeyer. They say he started in the city, and that was where he started making a name for himself thanks to the amazing buildings he came up with buildings such as São Francisco de Assis, or the Edificio Niemeyer, and of course, the Palacio das Artes, which is found in the municipal park. But if you're not interested in the architectural history of the city and you're just looking to explore, I recommend visiting the Pampulha neighborhood and having a relaxing time at Mangabeiras Park. And feel free to try out some great delicacies like some seafood while mixing it with some cachaca rum cocktail. Number 5. Salvador. Welcome to the first and oldest city of Brazil, the nation's former capital and the biggest city in northeastern Brazil. There are just so many things to love about this city. Its sunshine beaches and ocean views, its innate blend of the old and new, having buildings and features from colonial Brazil, while still managing to add a modern flair. It just works. You'll find lots of things to do in Salvador, like visiting Pelourinho, a former colonial city, currently a UNESCO heritage site. There's the Carmelite Church, the lighthouse of Farol da Barra, São Francisco, and tons of great neighborhoods in the upper and lower town, like the Museum of Sacred Art, amongst other places. Number 4. Curitiba. They say Curitiba is the most underrated city in Brazil, and I totally agree with that. Found in the state of Paraná, with a population of almost 2 million people, it's one of the most populated cities in Brazil. It has great panoramic views and a sophisticated city landscape, with diverse attractions garnering the attention of tourists year-round. One of the best places to visit in Curitiba is the Botanical Gardens. It was opened in 1991, and since then, it's been an interesting destination to visit. With great ponds and lakes and fountains and live waterfalls, it's like a natural utopia within a city. And yes, the naturalistic setting is good, but I think a central landmark in the Botanical Garden is the Art Nouveau style greenhouse. It's a greenhouse that's made entirely of glass and metal, but it's built like a giant cathedral, and it's truly beautiful. There are also places like the Museum of Oscar Niemeyer, which is finely constructed with different exhibits that highlight the wonderful works of this famed architect. Number 3. Sao Paulo. Now, if you really want to have some fun in Brazil, then you have to visit Sao Paulo, Brazil's financial center and the largest city in South America. It is home of cultural diversity, urban sophistication, and the Batman Alley. Oh, I'm not kidding, ladies and gentlemen, there's a place known as Batman Alley or Beco do Batman in Sao Paulo. Now, I think I should tell you that this place has nothing to do with Batman. It's just a place where artworks have been continuously displayed and the murals are ever changing. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of what Sao Paulo has to offer. There are also the museums of Sao Paulo, like the famous Museu de Arte or Sao Paulo Museum of Art, and even the Museum of Football, where you'll hear the amazing feats of the great Brazilian footballers like the legendary Pelé. But if you're not interested in all that, you can go sightseeing in Ibirapuera Park and visit the ever-busy places like the Avenida Paulista, which is always bubbling with activity. Number 2. The Amazon Rainforest. The next place needs no introduction. You've heard about it, you've read about it, and you've seen Dwayne Johnson take a ride across it. It's big, it's green, and it houses a lot of species, most of which can kill you. It's the biggest rainforest on the planet. It is the Amazon. Early on in this video, I mentioned that the Amazon rainforest covers up to 60% of Brazil, and that's no joke. When you think about a forest, you usually think that it's a place with tall trees, wild animals, and a scarcity of humans, right? Well, here's a fun fact for you. About 30 million people are living in the Amazon. Didn't see that coming, did you? There's a plethora of ecosystems in the forest. There are tons of streams and lakes, and of course, there's the Amazon River, the second longest river in the world. You can take a boat ride around the Amazon as well as go on foot. While checking out the different areas, you'll see wildlife, and you'll see the Anavilhanas Islands and the beautiful lake of Manaus. Number 1. Rio de Janeiro. I think everyone can agree that this is by far the best place to visit in Brazil. Rio is more than a city, it's a story, one that explains the nuance and history of Brazil and Latin America. Rio has famous locations that we all know and love, most significantly the Cristo Redentor statue or Christ the Redeemer. It is a giant statue of Christ that overlooks the entire city. It is a statue that highlights faith and religious learnings of the nation, and it is visited by thousands of tourists on a daily basis. Surrounding the Cristo Redentor is the Tijuca National Park, a 3,300 hectare of forest land. It's arguably one of the largest forest regions found within a city. Other places you can visit in Rio are Sugarloaf, a rock peak in the Rio Harbor, which is a popular place with a great view and features. You can also visit the beautiful beaches of Copacabana. It's over 4 kilometers of sandy beaches for you to relax and bathe in the sun. You can also check out Copacabana Palace, a national monument that was built as far back as the 1920s. If you're a soccer fan, I recommend going to the Maracana. It is Brazil's largest stadium, and games are being played there regularly, so you don't want to miss that. Well guys, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about these places in the comments below. Also, let us know some of your favorite places in Brazil, and also tell me places you want to see videos on. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.